Happy New Year, everyone. We have finished 2021 and we're already well into 2022. As we start this new year, I want you to imagine something with me just for a moment. I want you to imagine that you're running a race and you're actually getting near the end of the race and you can see the finish line and you actually cross over that red tape past the finish line and you're celebrating all of that moment. What would happen in your imagination, think about this, what would happen if you realized that the finish line was also the starting line? If the finish line to one race was actually also the starting line to the next race, how would you feel in that moment? Well, that's a little bit how we here at Ratanak feel. 2021 is finished. We have finished that race. Lives in Cambodia have been impacted, and so much has happened over this past year. Just to give you a sense of that, some of our statistics from this past year, 234 men and women in Cambodia were supported to return home back to Cambodia out of situations of trafficking. 312 men and women received care from trafficking situations to rebuild their lives now that they were back in Cambodia. This is just part of our impact over this past year as we've run the race together with you. But the race finishing is also the race starting. We're headed into 2022 and we've crossed the finish line of one race and we're starting the race of 2022 because there are still men and women in Cambodia who are in desperate need, who need our help together. Many who are still trapped, even as I speak, in situations of slavery, who need to get home and who need help rebuilding their lives. And so at Ratanak, we're committed to this new year, to this new race, and along with you, we're committed to helping these men and women. 2022, there's lots going to be happening this upcoming year. We're going to be continuing our ongoing programs to men and women, rehabilitating them and helping them to rebuild their lives. But in addition to that, we're starting a new prevention program this year, so stay tuned to hear more about that. There's some really exciting opportunities on the prevention front. And 2022, particularly this first part of this year, we're going to be spending time doing some strategic planning for the next 3 years, 2023 through 2025. And that's going to be a very important time for our organization as we seek God as to what is planned for us as an organization for the next 3 years. As part of that planning process, Brian and I are headed to Cambodia next month to spend time with senior staff there, sitting down together, talking, praying, visioning together about what God might have in store for Ratanak in terms of impact on the ground in Cambodia. So I would ask that you be praying for us. Pray for Brian and I as we head to Cambodia next month, and continue to pray for that entire strategic planning process with the board as we look ahead to the next 3 years. And do continue to be praying for our staff team in Cambodia as they reach out directly to these men and women who have suffered so much and who need to hear about the hope and the new life that Jesus offers. So thanks so much for standing with us in 2021 as we finish that race, and thanks so much for embarking with us on this new race in 2022 as we seek to continue to impact lives in Cambodia. Thanks so much. Take care.